Good afternoon, and welcome to PC Building Simulator. Okay, for any of those that might have seen my earlier posts, I had uploaded two videos from PC Building Simulator. One was around the career, and the second one was the IT expansion video. When I uploaded it, of course it got flagged with copyright. Because of the music that was playing in the background, obviously copyright rules. So it was blocked for some people that is not in the US or in certain countries. I only got a few views on each video, so I went ahead and took them down. And I figured I'd go ahead and start a new video, new game. Again, I don't mind. Starting over, but this way there's no music playing in the background, so I might have a better time of actually uploading the videos to where anyone in whatever country has access to YouTube can watch this video. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, this is PC Building Simulator 1. Apparently there is a second version out by Epic Games that currently is only on console, PS5, and the Xbox. So it hasn't really come to Steam or PC at least. So this one I actually purchased from Steam. It was $20. Obviously there's some DLC content that can be purchased to add more things, such as probably more things to do as far as around the esports. So we're on the menu screen. We have the career, where, as you can see, that I obviously have a save game, so we can either continue to load a new game. Esports, this is DLC content that I would have to purchase directly from Steam if I wanted to add that. We have the IT expansion, which of course I had started a game, so if I upload another video, it will probably be brand new again. There is the how to build a PC, which I won't go into this video, which I know in my first video I uploaded I had it, but maybe I'll post that as like a third video instead. And of course we have free build, which you can then build whatever computers you want. The how to build a PC is sort of like a tutorial that you can walk through to kind of get familiar with like the parts of a computer if you're not too familiar yourself. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start a new game. Yes, I know it's going to override my previous game. That's okay. So when you start a new game under the career part, you can choose a workshop. When you click on it, it shows you kind of what to look like as well. Go back. The ones with locks on it, obviously I would have to buy DLC to unlock those particular workshops. Same with the esports expansion. We've got this guy that's selectable. And we have some workshops that's used in the IT expansion. So when I originally played PC Building Simulator, this is the workshop that I originally had tried. That, of course, I never recorded me playing. It was just me playing it first time, just to get a feel for it. Here are some of the other ones as well, just to kind of go over. Alright, but then in my second gameplay through of the regular career, I chose this as my workshop. So just to kind of stay with what I originally had in my original video, is I'll go ahead and choose this workshop. Hopefully I'll remember this time not to buy parts that I don't have the money for, so I don't get the email from the bank saying, hey, you have overdraft protection, but pay attention. Alright, so welcome to PC Building Simulator. So it says I'm sure you can read as well. Begin, get your PC by the doorway open mail, and you've got mail. So the breakdown is Uncle Tim had a PC shop. He decided that I'm going to leave it in your hands. Congratulations. Also, I borrowed money, so you're negative $15 in the hole. Good luck. You use the mouse to kind of look around. In the bottom, it tells you how to move. You use the ADWS. I had to get used to these controls because normally in games that I play, I use the arrow keys instead of ADWS. So this is just a little different. So let's kind of look around the shop. Alright, so we have our door that we use to leave the workshop for the day. Light switch, so we make sure we turn off our lights so we're not using up power. Because you do have to pay for utilities as well as rent for the shop. This is a computer that someone dropped off. If you hover over it, it tells you kind of what you have to do, what they're asking for. As you can see, there's a couple things that are highlightable that I can't use until I get to a certain level, like level 5. Here's the PC. Cool thing is it uses my background of my actual laptop. So that was really cool here. So we'll just kind of click into this. So obviously we have the email, we have shop. This is where you buy parts and other things. Music player, I'm not going to touch that, so that way there's no music playing. But in the music player, it has its own soundtrack. If you have music on your C drive, it will recognize that as well, where you can play your own music. And then they have a section called Internet, where it has internet radio channels. That seem pretty generic. Some of the channels don't work, some do. And that's what I had been playing, and so therefore copyrighted rules apply because they are actual songs from, you know, artists in the US and Europe, wherever. Obviously there's select wallpaper, so you could probably change your wallpaper, and then the add remove programs. We're not going to go into the email quite yet. This wanted to kind of show the rest of the room, right? So we have our calendar here. This tells you, of course, what day that you're working, what day it is. This is also where you're going to see any jobs that you pick up where they're delivering the PCs to the shop, or if you order anything, it will show up here. Obviously, you can see when I have to pay the utility bill and then the rent and how much rent is. So you want to make sure you have enough, obviously, to pay that. Big thing that I also noticed that when you do order things from the shop, most items you get overnight. Other items can take 3 to 5 days, which it's 5 days. If you order something on Friday and it's next day, it does not come till Monday, so definitely be aware of that if you do end up buying this game and starting to play. This is where we can look at our inventory. So this is what we have so far as tools and software, and I don't really have any other things other than these cables. As you can see, I can unlock at level 3 and level 8 some more workstations, and then we have level 6 stability PC storage cupboard. So I'm kind of excited to be able to see that. We have our workstation here where I pick that guy up and bring him over here to work on. Level 5 to change peripherals. Alright, so I think that's pretty much an overview of the shop. So we'll go ahead and get into our email. Alright, so we get pretty much an email from our uncle saying, hey, company's not doing well, I had to go, borrowed $15 for fuel, let me know how it is. So pretty much Uncle Tim decided, you know what, I'm gonna go and find my own path, go do something else, and then, you know, give you some tips. I'm gonna go ahead and discard that. Alright, so this is the guy that dropped off the PC that we saw in the hallway. Obviously, he still thinks Tim works at the shop because the email's for Tim, Gary. So, again, objectives, breakdown is a labor, $100, so that's how much, like, I charge the guy. No budget, because all it really is just removing viruses as the objective. Required level 1. Right, we're going to go ahead and close that out. What I'm also going to go ahead and do, because you do eventually get an email about this, we're going to go ahead and install Cloud Notes. Now, in the email that you later on get from Uncle Tim, he tells you, hey, check this out so you can keep notes, whatever you want to do. In my previous video, I used it to make notes on steps that I did to a particular job, and I had a separate page for like items I purchased and how much, and if it was next day or whatever. So I'll probably do the same. So let's go ahead and pull up that and get that started. Alright, job number 1. Oh, this is what I learned. I made a template so that way I could just copy and paste what I wanted to have. Alright, so job number whatever, and then customer name. Sorry, I talk to myself a lot when I play games. I mean, you don't necessarily, of course, have to use the Cloud Notes, or if you do, you can do whatever you want. I'm big into templates. I always was when I was working, and so this kind of keeps me in line with, you know, eventually I myself do want to get back into potentially getting into a help desk or IT support position. I know I only mentioned this in a previous video, but I was let go of my previous job. They no longer needed my position through the restructuring, which is fine. You know, that's great. It gave me time to realize that, hey, as much as I had fun at this company, I kind of deviated from my main goal. And so now I'm kind of getting back into it and crossing fingers and hoping that I can become help desk support. Otherwise, you know, I'm pretty much open for any kind of job at this moment until I can get to where I can get the certifications I need, and hopefully that will help me even further. So anyways, back to this game. Sorry for the sidetrack. Okay, so I think that's what I had in my template was the job number and their name. What the objective was, steps, status, and amount paid. Alright, we're gonna just kind of, oops, there we go, kind of a divider line, so that way, you know, I've got the template up here. I wonder if Control B, nope, doesn't, okay, that's right. Okay, so job 1, And the customer's name was Gary, based on his email. And obviously remove viruses was the objective. In progress for right now. Alright, what's nice is I can leave this and it keeps it open. I don't have to worry about people looking over my shoulder, right? Alright, I'm going to pick this guy up. Alright, so hovering over it is, of course, removing viruses, making sure it can boot for one. I'm going to click on it to start working on it. Right. If you hold down the right button on your mouse, you can rotate the camera. As you can see, the cables are highlighted. Press and hold down on each one will allow you to then plug it into various places. So, and then it tells you need the USB drive as well, because we need the virus scanner, right? But to explain, we've got the power cable, we have a cable for the mouse and keyboard, and then we have a cable that's going from the monitor to the graphics card, so we can see what's on the monitor. Okay, and if we click on install, we can click our USB drive, and again, get that in. Power this puppy up. Now, with the USB, I install programs. It only really matters if you don't uninstall them after use. I know that there obviously are going to be some scenarios where you have to remove programs, and that's where you use the USB to remove programs if there was any installed. So we're going to do the virus scanner. And of course, whenever you install a new program, you should always restart the computer. Alright, now that it's back up, we're going to go ahead and do the virus scanning. We're cleaning the files. Alright, we're all done. I'm going to power this guy off. As you can see, my objectives have updated where it booted to the OS, we removed viruses, and now I just need to place it back in the delivery area. So we're going to remove our cables, and don't forget the USB, right? What I noticed before is as soon as I did this, I had this PCI cover, and when I first played it, like I had gotten through a couple jobs, and I was like, where did this guy come from? Because he wasn't there before, right? And we all looked at my inventory before I started, and so I'm assuming, I got it from this guy, but obviously it's not a missing piece. So somehow extra, but as there are jobs where you upgrade and replace parts, so you'll get those pieces as well to where you can either sell them. If they're broken, you definitely want to sell them, right? If they're not broken, you can hold them onto the inventory. I don't know if they'll ever be needed in future jobs, but might as well. Okay, so we make it fun. And you come back to the email to then collect money. So as you can see, I got 100, but because Uncle Tim took $15, we're actually a total of 85. Alright, we can continue. Oh look, Uncle Tim telling us about Cloud Notes. Go ahead and discard that. Talks about reading an article. So in my first video, I actually typed in this website on my phone. It brought me to directly to PC Building Simulator, and that's how I found about the second one being on the video game consoles, PS5 and Xbox. However, I didn't really dive too much into the website. I'm sure there might be an article, but yeah, we're not going to worry about it. Entirely up to you if you want to keep previous emails for jobs, what have you. I'm going to discard because I'm not going to need that guy anymore. Okay, close that guy out. We are done for the day. Obviously there's nothing more for me to do. Turn off the lights. When I was playing the first time, I didn't turn off my lights, and by the time I had to pay utility, it was $96. I could pay it, but now I'm wondering how much it's going to be if I decide to turn off my lights every day. And then, you know, see what that looks like by the 10th. So this is, like, I enjoyed playing this game. When I first played it, I played for hours. Time went by. If anyone's played any video games like that, I'm sure you've noticed that things are like that. So we'll go ahead and do a couple more days. Sorry about any background noise. Just taking a drink of water. I'll try not to talk too much during the video, unlike the last one. Okay, so with the shop, as you can see, I kind of just went through, I clicked storage, I used the search function to look for the hard drive he wanted, which he was looking for 500 gigabytes or more. His budget, however, is $50, which is the cost of this part. In most cases, when you go to view cart, you can then see if you get next day delivery, $30. I'm sure if there's ever anything that had same day delivery, and then 3 to 5 working days. So 50 plus 30, of course, is 80. So we're going to go ahead and purchase that now. Now this is where I messed up, because we also have this other job where this person wanted a graphics card, and I went ahead and bought the graphics card, and I was like, oh darn, because I got a new email from the bank saying, hey, you didn't have this money, so therefore it was overdrafted. But good news is we're not going to charge you, so I'm going to hold off on accepting that job. We're going to go ahead and accept this one. And of course we accepted this one as well, because it's easy enough removing viruses, clean out dust. Now as you progress, which I had seen, there are jobs where some have deadlines, so you got to be very careful if you have to purchase a part, what day you're on, for one, what the shipping looks like, and of course how long you get for that. So we're still kind of in our early stages. I essentially could go ahead and accept this one if I wanted to, where it's gonna obviously just be delivered, but I don't have the parts because I need to make money first of all. But we'll go ahead and accept it. You can accept jobs even if you don't have the parts. Just be aware if there was a timeline for that job, versus how long it takes for a part to come in, and you know, you don't necessarily have to accept these jobs. Okay. So I mean, there's really not much left for me to do. Easy store 500 gigabytes. Cool. Well, there's not much else I can do. As you can see in the top right corner, we have the money that we, have. Also, your XP or experience bar, level 1, just got a little bit from that first job. So we're going to go ahead and end the day. Make sure I turn off the lights. As you can see, which if I looked at my calendar in the shop, it would show the same thing, but I'm expecting at least the 3 computers and then the 1 part that I ordered. Okay, as you can see, I've got the 3 computers on the right, which they are labeled scan, upgrade, fix. We have my inventory where I ordered the hard drive. Okay. Go ahead and get this guy out of the way because it's pretty much easy. It's just cleaning and removing viruses. Look at how dusty this thing is. So it was kind of interesting using the compressed air. Before we do that, do you want to remove the side panel? Nope. Which, when you do that, it will highlight other things that you might have to click on to remove it. As you kind of hover over things, you can see what you can remove easily enough, which is the green, and then red and yellow, if I were to need any other parts. Then I'd have to figure out how to get to it, pretty much, to make it go from red to orange to then green. should be all of it. Yep. Okay. Put that guy back. This is why I like copy and paste, makes it easier. As you can see, I got a new email indicating that they just added parts to our range, so it looks like I got another graphics card available. As you progress, more things get unlocked and added to the shop. most cases, some of the emails tell you kind of what they're looking for. If they just need to say replace graphics card and they didn't want to buy another one, you can click on the PC stats, which brings this up that tells you what parts they already have in there. So in this case, this one already had it. It just needs, it's broken, so just want to replace it. Unless you can afford a better one. Gonna come back to this one because, as you can see, it's $295. I only got 105, so we're gonna hold off until I finish this guy to get a little bit more money, since I do have the parts. So we leave kind of everything open here. Now this one was kind of interesting because I know kind of where all the parts are of a computer. I've fixed a computer before. I've upgraded parts physically in my life. This PSU or power supply unit shroud is hiding the hard drive. Okay. We have the hard drive, but in order to remove it, because obviously you can see it's red, we have to open up the bay, but in order to open up the bay, we have to remove this other side panel. And unplug it, of course. However, you can kind of see the cable you need. Alright. Yeah. As you can see, it says missing cables. So essentially I got to figure out how to make sure I installed the hard drive back to the motherboard. And I forgot this the last time when I played, but you hit cabling and you can see that these are now highlighted in orange. It took me a half second in the first video, and lo and behold, like I knew I had to figure out how to get these cables back. I couldn't figure it out because you gotta hit the cable button. Alright, Now we put all the parts back. Now with putting in new hard drives, you also need to be able to install a new OS. So that's why we have to put the USB drive in there, because there's no OS installed as it tells you here. So in real life, you'd probably have like a ISO image on like a flash drive, optical media, to install and be on the new hard drive. Alright, looks like that's all I needed to have done, so I can go ahead and power this guy off and remove what I need. And put it back in the delivery area and collect my monies. It would help if I click the right button, right? Alright, so I got paid $330. Okay, now you can see I've got $435, so I can go back to the shop. Let's go ahead and purchase this now. See, this guy is in progress. see how I'm misspelling all over the place. As you can see, based on this email, I have leveled up to level 2. So it unlocks even more things for me. Now you're wondering why I didn't bother to also add this to my order. Because one, yes, it probably would be helpful because especially if they both have next day shipping. But you know, I think it doesn't really matter if it's combined, separate, still comes up the same bank. Okay, RAM. That's 140. Makes it easy when it's the only 16 gigabyte RAM. See, 3 to 5 working days. Alright. So you notice that before, in order to remove that air cooler, I had to remove the plug it from the motherboard, right? And of course install the new one, hit the cabling so I could plug it right back in. Alright, and last but not least, we gotta put the side panel back on. And then make sure it boots just fine. I'm sure you noticed that down in the bottom here, where it said that it's easy to forget the thermal paste, right? So we're going to turn this guy off. So obviously when working with air coolers, you want to make sure there's also thermal paste on the CPU. Alright, so we don't want to remove it, but thermal paste. And that's what that little dot is. Okay. Okay. There we go. Like, how do I close that up? Because you can tell I got the thermal paste on there. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this guy back. Looks like it's gonna have me do the boot up again. Oh, one thing you may want to do in real life when you're working on a PC is make sure the power cable's not in, because you could, you know, electrocute yourself. So make sure not to do this in real life. Gotta unplug it first. Alright. Let's go ahead and remove cables. So definitely recommend make sure you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing to be safe. Okie dokie. Just to double check, I can't really do that one because I'm still waiting for the RAM. Alright, let's check out some new emails. Oh, Harry, borrowing Mom's computer, and we got viruses. We'll go ahead and accept. Alright, this person wants to obviously upgrade RAM. Due date. So this is what I mean by emails that have time frames. So this one, they just wanted to clean out the dust, completed by end of day 1/8, which is within 3 days. Obviously, when we look at my calendar, it's Friday. So if I accept it, I need to make sure I get that done pretty much the day I come in, which is no big deal since it's just cleaning out dust. We'll go ahead and accept. So it'll be delivered and pretty much done the same day. And yay, new parts. Alright, so waiting for things to come in. So I'm already waiting for the first order of RAM to come in for this one. Just ordered another one for this guy. Alright, so it looks like I'm pretty much caught up as best as I can be for right now. Well, let me go ahead and add this other guy in here. Sorry, it's not a guy. It's apparently a Zuka, which in most cases that is a female. I think in my other template I had due date in there, but I don't think I'll have a separate one. I'll just put it in the objective. The OD is end of day. looking at my calendar. Alright, got that delivery. We got that delivered to us. So we're waiting on the 3 computers. And then obviously must complete job. And then I should be getting in one part here and the one part there. So everything is looking good. Got that PC that I still have to work on. Alright, we'll call it a day. Alright, going to go ahead and work on everything real quick, and then that will probably be the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully no copyright since I have no music playing. Like I said, if it's something that you enjoy building PCs, want to learn how to build PCs, this is definitely a lot of fun and work to do. So, alright, we'll go ahead and pick up this guy. Alright. This one's pretty much easy, just removing them viruses. Good old Harry using his mom's PC. I like putting them at the end of the hallway, closer to the door, so that way at least I know which ones I've already worked on. Alright, Harry, stop using your mom's computer. How I'm getting random PCI covers. Okay. With RAM, it's right here on the motherboard. I'm going to open up the memory clips. New RAM. Install. Memory. I mean, I doubt anyone's going to want 2 gigabytes, but I'll hold on to it. Nice. And that's it? That's all I gotta do? That one's easy. I can install RAM all day long. Ooh, I got an achievement, $1,000 in the bank. Okay, so for the most part, everything's completed. Alright, just waiting on Timothy's RAM to come in. Ooh, replacing the motherboard. Well, that's new. I don't think I've ever done, I haven't even gotten that far to do that one yet. Okay. Replace motherboard. Oh. That's a lot of work right there. Alright, let's see what kind of motherboard we've got. More 20 H170 M-Tech. What is today's date? It's Monday. Okay. You can move it around too, which is nice. You can move your windows around. We'll go ahead and order this and accept this job, call it a day, and like I said, that will be the end of the video. I do plan to play more, so I will, of course, upload a video of me starting over the IT career job. That one's a little bit more fast-paced. There's a couple more options available for that one. And again, I won't be playing any music, so there'll be pretty much silence. So that way I won't be hit with any copyright, so that anyone would be able to view my videos. What's nice is when you end the day and start the new one, it saves automatically for me. But if you hit the escape button, you could also go to save game and see that it's saved. So don't need to do anything more. Hit resume for right now. But thank you again so much for joining me. I know this video was a little lengthy. My first one was as well. And I plan to upload more as long as I'm not playing any music in the background. Everyone should be able to check this game out if you're ever interested. Again, I got it on Steam, PC Building Simulator, and it was like 20 bucks plus in taxes and stuff. But this is definitely a game that I love because I like building PCs, I like fixing them, and so if that's something you like, I definitely recommend it, as far as it being very general itself. Well, good evening, and hope you guys enjoyed the video.